What we all do for people like J. Cole is our expectation level rises. The expectation levels for me is right here. And in life, do you know how hard it is to meet expectations when you set the expectations so high? He pretty much hit his highest gear as a rapper. J. Cole was riding this rap car like it was 120 miles per hour at 120 miles per hour. I'm here to tell you right now, J. Cole met expectations with this album. He met expectations.
Check this out, man. The illustrious, the guy who's had his foot on people's neck the last week or two, J. Cole, Jermaine Cole, dropped his new project, The Off Season. And I think it's appropriate because we've discussed, I think, the expectations of the project. We've discussed, how do we feel like Cole is going to, I guess, how's he going to sound this time around? What are his rankings of his albums? We've kind of talked around and about J. Cole, but I'm glad we actually got the project. I'm sure you've heard it. I know you reviewed it on ratingsgamemusic.com. That's out there if y'all want to go check that out. I'm pretty sure your rating was reasonable. I hope, because I didn't read it. But Q, let's do a little album review for the people, man. I think that's fitting, So I'm gonna give you the floor first. Yes. I'm gonna give you the floor first.
Please do. Let me get the phone. So I was just like everybody else, waiting at 11 o'clock for this album to drop. Clearly, I knew that this was going to be the biggest thing in 2021. And initially, what we all do for people like J. Cole is our expectation level rises. And so since J. Cole hasn't dropped anything in 4 or 5 years or so, like, the expectation levels for me is right here. And in life, do you know how hard it is to meet expectations when you set the expectations so high? I'm here to tell you right now, J. Cole met expectations with this album. He met expectations. Literally, one of the only issues I have with the album is the spaced out like titles. That thing, as a writer, that's impossible to deal with. I never used a space bar so much in my damn life. What was this? Do you know the significance of the spaces in the titles?
That is hilarious.
And the dots? Like, what is the significance of that? Somebody needs to ask J. Cole. Somebody needs to get J. Cole out of the African League, call a timeout, and let's ask him. Because apparently J. Cole is playing basketball for the Rwanda Lakers or something like that.
Which is crazy.
Which is pretty cool. But I mean, the thing is,
wait. Is that really the team name? The Lakers?
I don't know.
Yo, that would be hilarious. The Rwanda Lakers. Come on, man.
Rwanda something. But J. Cole met expectations, guys. Like, this is something that we should all be proud of. J. Cole met expectations. So how did J. Cole meet expectations? First and foremost, the version of J. Cole that we get on this album is Killer Cole. This is the J. Cole. Somebody said it on Twitter. This is the J. Cole that is rapping like the rent is due. This is the J. Cole that all that fire that you expected him to have every time he stepped on the mic, he brought it this time around. J. Cole was not playing around when it came to flows, when it came to punchlines. I mean, some of these punchlines went over your head. I mean, we had a seance. Is that the correct word? We had a conversation about this during our tea party at Brooklyn and DC about how good of a line that little M on your hat, like you Luigi's brother. Woo! Like, that's a punchline. Yeah. It takes like 5-10 minutes for you to internalize what he said. Like, he was at the top level. He was at his highest level as a rapper. What I said was J. Cole is somebody similar to Kendrick that likes to shift gears, right? And they like to, drive the proverbial rap wheel at like maybe 50 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour. Every once in a while, you might get them at 90 miles per hour. J. Cole was riding this rap car like it was 120 miles per hour, at 120 miles per hour. He didn't. He pretty much hit his highest gear as a rapper. And as a fan of J. Cole, this is what you were expecting for years. This is kind of what you were expecting with KOD. This is what you were expecting with For Your Eyes Only. He brought it. Now, I'm not going to get to the particulars like you probably will. All I'm going to say is I think that when we all sit down and internalize this album fully, Applying Pressure is going to be considered one of the hardest rap songs you ever heard in your life. 95 South is going to be considered one of the hardest rap songs you ever heard in your life. Even Punching the Clock, a song that's only less than 2 minutes, one of the hardest rap songs you ever heard in your life. There's so many hard ass rap songs on this album, and that is my biggest takeaway from it. Those hard ass rap songs, and that J. Cole finally brought out Killer Cole. And it's a good album. It's a great album. It's a great album.
You know what? So I echo a lot of stuff that you said, and I'll try not to, I guess, repeat some of the stuff I agree with. But here's what I will say, man. I thought that while this album has only been out a few days, right? Don't know when you guys are going to be hearing this, but we've had a few days, really 2, right, to digest the album. And so I think a lot of times what happens is people are quick to the gun to try to label something as classic, our first listen. I think a lot of times it's very necessary for us to live and sit with music, right? And see how you feel a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 5 months later, 2 years later. What I can tell you without having that future hindsight that I'm referring to, this album is flawless. It's flawless. And I say that because I think the last few projects from J. Cole have not been flawless. They've had flaws to them. And I think that's been the cause for why people have complained. They've said, J. Cole, you don't work with enough people. They've said, J. Cole, we tired of you producing your own music. They said, J. Cole, you're giving us boring bars, like similar to what they accuse Nas of, and making like boring music, folding clothes. We joke about folding clothes on For Your Eyes Only. J. Cole even addresses that in this album. He talks about how he put that song out, and I think he was saying, yo, I'm still folding clothes, by the way, guys. He had a much cooler and wittier bar, but the point is he had flaws in a lot of his music. While J. Cole was rapping very well on KOD, he was rapping very well on For Your Eyes Only. He was doing it in different parts and segments. I feel like this project was so well rounded that this might be his most complete album. Complete as in he gave us melodic voice Cole. He gave us killer rapper bar Cole. He gave us an amazing intro, which, by the way, I got to say that again. That intro with Cameron, bro. When I heard Cameron, when that song came on, I said, yo, what is happening? Like that song, that might be one of the best intros I've heard in the last few years, honestly. That is a phenomenal intro. The way that beat comes in, the way Cameron talks that swag shit, like in the middle, in the beginning of the song, the way, like you said, Cole came with the bars and the raps, the delivery was impeccable. I genuinely feel like this album is flawless. There was not a wasted song on this album. It was 12 songs. Under that mark of, remember last we was on Good in the Hood and you was talking about how like I like classic projects to be under, what'd you say, 13 or 15? What'd you say? What was the number?
13.
He did just that, right? He even, I don't think there was a wasted song on here. Every song was impactful. Every song mattered. And overall, man, I'm gonna give this album because I didn't hear your rating, by the way, because I want to get yours. I'm giving this album an A-. I'm giving this album an A-.
That was close to mine.
You know what? Fuck a minus. This is an A. I'm tired of the pluses and minuses. Fuck it. This is an A.
I'm gonna do the pluses and minuses.
You do it. I'm not doing it.
I'm used to getting D pluses and C pluses and F pluses, so it's something that is normal to me. I'm giving it an A, bro. I'm giving it a B plus. And the thing is, a B plus is above average. A B plus is good. It's above good. That's what I think this song is. But it depends on how you look at it, right? Like, I think this album is great. I think it's great, but it's not the greatest album I've ever heard. It's not. And that's what I reserve for A's. Like, these are some of the greatest albums I've ever heard. I don't think it's the greatest album, but what I will say is this is Cole reaching his peak as a rapper. He reached his peak as a rapper on the album.
1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that to me is what I care about. Cole actually saying F the politics, F trying to be Farrakhan 2.0. I'm just going to hit you with serious ass bars to make you put respect on my name, point blank, period. And he did that. And as a Cole fan, that is what I care about.
You know what I like?